One of the guys on our show was the announcer for the baseball team, and so at Texas State.
At Texas State, all right.
Yeah, and he was like, "You guys are going to see Paul Goldschmidt." I actually have a small mini helmet on my desk that you had signed somewhere. I don't know how, but it's on my desk right now.
You bought it at a charity auction.
That is exactly what happened. No, that is where I got it. Honestly,
that's the only way.
I wear it every day. But no, it's a mini helmet. And it came up because he was like, "Oh, I used to call his name out." And we were like, "Oh yeah, he went to Texas State."
Yeah.
So we thought it was cool. You'd even heard of us.
I know, that's true. Who knows? I might have heard y'all on the radio,
nice.
But
yeah.
What I really remember, we would have 6 a.m. workouts, and I remember we'd be sitting in the cars, like me and my 3 roommates, and then, how'd you start the show? Something like,
Kanye.
Good morning, or something.
Yeah.
So we'd try to get pumped up before the coaches would tear us a new one. And
it's probably why you're so successful, let's be honest.
It was
because
great.
of you.
Yeah, that was pumped up.
That's probably like the thing that
motivated us, and wow.
How did you end up at Texas State because you're from like Delaware Northeast, right?
So I was born in Delaware. My parents are both from the Northeast. But we moved to Texas when I was about a year old. So I grew up in Texas, lived in Dallas area for a few years, and then I grew up outside of Houston in the Woodlands. And so just, got recruited by a few of the Texas schools and chose Texas State, and it was awesome there.
I was looking back at like the hard data of your career. I didn't realize you had been drafted so late when you were drafted. And even you went to college, right? You didn't go play minor league ball. What was it?
I had to go to the minors after college.
But I'm saying a lot of like people, some folks I know don't even go to college. They go right to the minors.
Yeah, they go. That's true. Yeah, they went to high school.
What clicked? Was it physically? Was it mentally? Like to be drafted that late? The Dodgers draft you?
Dodgers took me in 49th round, which doesn't even exist anymore. Just they like done that round. I think we only do 20 rounds now.
So what happened? Like physically, mentally, what was it for you that clicked in a way of like, oh, I'm starting to get this now?
I was always a good player. I just think, every team knew like this guy's going to need more time if we're going to draft him. We're going to need, most of the guys that are signing are just very, very talented out of high school, and they're just, we need to get this guy now. It's not even waste going to college. But I think, probably half of the league are probably college guys. And so, we go to college, you continue to mature, continue to learn, get a lot of playing experience. Even then, I went in the 8th round, so there was probably 200-something guys drafted before me. So I think, again, same, go to the minor leagues and just kind of see what's happening and continue to get experience. That was probably the biggest thing. I think I just played every single day, as many games as I could, continued to just practice and work as hard as I could, and just wanted to be ready if I got that opportunity.
What was your ascension? Did you go rookie ball, A, AA, AAA, majors, get sent back? Like, what was that?
Man, I got fortunate. I went to rookie ball the first year and played pretty well. Didn't get called up that year. So the next year I went to high A ball and I had a good year, but didn't get called up again. And I'm like, okay. And then I go to AA the next year, and I was having probably the best year of my career. And I'm like, man, I guess they're just gonna let me keep playing. And then all of a sudden I got the call, and they said you're going to the big leagues. Got to skip AAA and go up with Arizona. We played San Francisco, and obviously a day and a moment I'll never forget.
Did you stay up? Did you ever go back down?
No, pretty fortunate that, as always, I think that's one of the hardest things when you get called up is just like trying to get comfortable. You want to get a few hits, especially some big hits. Most guys aren't going to get up there and just dominate. So, I definitely had my ups and downs, but was able to kind of do enough to stay up.
One of my best friends, you actually had the biggest contract. They replaced his biggest contract. One of my really good friends is Matt Holliday. And so he got sent down. Like, he didn't come up here, but same. Like, he got sent back down. We're going to let the leaves get blown.
Can we edit this out?
Fire them. You have...
We need those guys.
Yeah. So what are they doing? Blowing water off the field?
Water or just dirt, sunflower seeds, whatever it is.
Do they not know who you are?
No, they do. That's why they take such good care of the field.
Got it.
Somebody said that they're the best around. Like, do you just say that every ground?
Yeah, everybody says that, right?
Or is it like what makes them so good?
No, they do good.
They don't even care that the Stars are doing an interview.
They definitely don't care about interviews.
Yeah.
I think to me it's just they care about it. We're not going to name names, but there's some places where the grounds crew kind of does their job and then they leave and you don't see them for a few hours, or they just kind of like rake the infield, and then you see most places where the grounds crew is always there. If something needs attention, they're kind of going overboard, like, sweeping up sunflower seeds, which make no effect on the ball.
Do you feel like if you bench press a lot, your swing gets a little tighter? I do, playing softball.
Yeah, of course. There's a point of no return where, too much bench press is too much, but I think you also want strength too. So.
Do you ever max out?
No, the last time I did that was probably in college, and so no, I think not many guys are maxing out anymore.
Yeah, I did that like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, take a guess. Take a guess.
500 pounds.
We'll take it.
Close,
We'll
man.
move on with
That's
it.
real close.
Yeah, we'll take it. A real question. So in 22, when you win the MVP, do you watch what's happening as it's going? Like you think, like, okay, I'm in the race. Like, do you keep up with that at all?
I really try not to. It's more just like I don't want to get distracted. I don't want, I'm doing good, let's keep it going. Or if that adds pressure, I'm struggling, now I need to step it up. So for me, it's just really staying in the moment. But that year was unique just because I went to the All-Star game, and then going into that last month, you get asked a lot of questions by the media. And I think that's where I just kind of find everything out. And so I knew the last month that, me and a few other guys, we had a chance once you get to that. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, and actually didn't have a good last month, so maybe that was the reason, but ended up good enough and was able to win that award.
What's a slump for you? How many at-bats without getting a clean hit?
Any hit's a clean hit. I mean, I'll take any hit I can get, but you start going, you go a whole series, there's 3 or 4 games. I mean, you're thinking, man, that was
like
ugly.
over 12, over 13.
Yeah, over 12. I wouldn't call it a slump. Maybe double that. Maybe you get in the 20s. You're like, okay, this has got to usually be some bad luck once you get into 15, 20. I mean, you can swinging bunt, or you can find a hole out there somewhere. But when you start to get it there, and I think a couple weeks ago I had like 30. That might have been. If it wasn't my longest, it felt like the longest. So.
What do you do to not think about it, or what do you do to break it?
Break it, you just keep waiting, and again, try not to press, and for me it's a little bit maybe just have some fun with it, but I think seriously just trying to stay in the moment. I mean, each day is a new day, and try to just keep that mindset, and we've been training for that. So same thing when you're going well, you don't want to show up and just kind of goof off for a few hours and not get ready for the game. So try to just find that sweet spot of focus but still having fun.
Goldie, when you hit one out, do you know as soon as you make contact with the bat that it's gone?
I would say about 98% of the time, yeah. There's the 2% where you're like, oh, that's going to be close. And whether it's the wind or just the way you hit it, and then you're just kind of watching. But 95, 98% of the time, you're like, it's gone. Which even watching other guys, they hit it, and I'm like, I don't know. And they start celebrating, and it goes over by like 2 feet. I'm like, man, how'd you know that? But every once in a while, you get caught. And then that's why you got to make sure you're running and don't get embarrassed out there and throwing out. At least get a double. But I don't know. Maybe just because we've done it so much. I don't know why, but it's just like, like even at BP, that's gone. Although the worst feeling is when you think you get it and then they catch it and you're like, oh man, something's off today or something like that.
The NBA working a lot of the players with load management, right? A lot of games, not as many as baseball, but they're playing 90 games.
They run a lot more than us.
They do run a lot more than you, but you play a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about load management in Major League Baseball to keep players healthier longer?
Well, that's one strategy. I think for me, when I came up, you had to play every day. If you didn't play every day, you weren't going to have a job, honestly. So, I kind of give our guys a hard time if they're taking. It's not really the player's choice. It comes from the management or the coaches or whatever. And I understand that there's times to take days off, but I think just the whole theory on that has changed a lot. What NBA, NFL, MLB, it's like you played until you got hurt or until you couldn't play anymore. And so that was kind of the way I was brought up. So it's hard to change my mindset on that. And I think there's a mental part of that too that's really good. Is like, man, maybe I'm not 100%. You're never really at 100%, but maybe this would be a good day to take off. But somehow you go out there and it's almost like you're just that mental toughness, that physical toughness to push through it. And I think that can pay dividends in the long run. But there's also times when you got to take days off.
All right, final 5, Eddie, your question.
Can you hear people when you're on deck? And I don't want to give them fuel, but I remember I went to a Mets game like a long time ago, and Mike Piazza just dyed his hair like white, blonde, and somebody was like, Q-tip, and 100% he heard him, but Mike never turned around. Like, can you hear him, one, and how do you deal with that crap?
Yeah, you can hear him, and for me, it's like just that perspective. I think there's times when maybe you can get annoyed or whatever. Usually when you're struggling and then, you're going good, you got 2 hits and a homer, like, you can say whatever you want. I'm about to go get my 3rd hit right here. But I kind of just changed my mindset of, like, just kind of enjoying it and just taking it. I mean, it doesn't happen. At home, obviously, they're cheering for you most of the time. And so you go on the road, those tougher environments. And I'm just like, it's fun. And also, man, I grew up going to a lot of ball games, and I yelled at a lot of guys when I was an amateur. So I always tell her, man, this is payback now. And so when it happens, I'm looking back at my 16-year-old self as I was in the stands talking trash, like, all right, you deserve this right now. And then that kind of just makes me smile and just try to take it in.
All right, 4 left. Who did you play with or against when you first came up where you were like, that's freaking cool, I'm on the field with this person?
Well, my favorite player was Lance Berkman growing up in Houston. So when he got to first base and he knew who I was, that was pretty cool. But, I mean, then there's Derek Jeter at the All-Star game. I mean, that was like everyone's favorite player. I think those 2 guys kind of stick out. And a lot of times my rookie year was like, don't think about who's on the mound, because you're competing against this guy. But I've been watching a lot of the guys for 10-plus years, and you knew them, and maybe you're rooting for them, or you just know how good they were. And it was almost like this mental mind trick to just be like, all right, he's just another guy, or compare him to someone else to try to just stay competitive.
Is it cool to be at the mall or someplace and see someone wearing your jersey? And do you even go up to them sometimes?
No, I won't go up to them, but no, it is cool. And I think, especially when it first happens when you're young, and even now, and you just see the kids especially, because I still picture myself as a kid, and I watched baseball and all sports every night, and just wanted to be like those guys. So I think when I see those kids, and it used to be autographed, now it's like, can I take a selfie with you, or can I take a picture? But you walk away like, man, that was really cool, because I could see myself in their shoes.
All right, final 2 questions. You play a lot of baseball. You play a lot of baseball here, but where is your? It's going to be a difficult question, possibly. Where do you like to play that's not here?
I mean, wherever I play well.
What? But you're going. What stadium do you like aesthetically, or you hit well in?
Well, I haven't played well there, but I do like when we go to Philly. You talk about fans talking trash. They're as good as anyone, and so I kind of try to just enjoy that energy that those stadiums bring, and with them kind of being in the World Series a couple years ago and being so good, that place has had a lot of energy. It's a good place to hit. No one wants to go to the stadium where there's not as many fans, and then also as a hitter where the outfield's huge. If you got the ball where the ball flies, or the pitchers probably hate going to like the Coors Field where the ball just
everything flies out.
Yeah. So I mean, anytime we can kind of feel that adrenaline, feel the crowd, feel the big game, whatever it is, that's fun, because with 162 games, we're not feeling that every day. And there are some games, as much as we don't want to admit it, that can just kind of feel just kind of a little bit more boring. And so when we can get that adrenaline for whatever reason, whether it's the fans, the stadium, sometimes it can be the other team or something that's happened. It's always fun that way.
All right, last question. The culture in sports, NFL, especially NBA, you're seeing it. I don't know if it happens much in baseball, but like after a game where players will trade jerseys. Does that ever happen with you guys?
I saw it the last couple of years, but
not as much, right?
No, not as much. And when we had Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina, the guys were coming across, hey, can we trade jerseys, or after the games?
Because of that culture, I know you probably don't know this. So I was the youngest member ever in the Radio Hall of Fame. You'll be in the Hall of Fame one day for sure. I'm gonna trade you my microphone first. You get to have this.
All right, I get to
but
keep
what
that.
do you give me?
What you're gonna want is a baseball bat, because that's the best collectible.
We also debated what the best collectible was.
For me, it's baseball bat for sure.
All right, here we go. This is a Hall of Fame. I've never given away a microphone before.
Yeah, of course.
My hero. It's the only time I've ever done this. Here you go, Paul.
Thank
go
you.
Cards. Hey, go Cards. Look
That's
at this.
awesome. Yes.
Go Cards.
I appreciate it.
Let's go. All right, and we really appreciate the time.
Dude, this is awesome.
Throw that away as soon as we leave. All right.
No chance. This
Thanks,
is
Paul.
cool.